Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. What is the best silver to stack? Maybe you're new to silver stacking, or maybe you're a seasoned pro. A highly contentious topic for most stackers as taste changes from person to person. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over what silver you should avoid and what I feel is the best silver to buy for the average stacker and why, coming up. Now, before we dive into things, I'm certainly not telling you what to buy. It is your money. Do with it what you will. I'm only letting you know of trends and habits I have seen over the past 15 years. These are things I have seen with online dealers, eBay, Instagram, and brick and mortar precious metal dealers. This list is very broad and generic for the average stacker. It's also going to depend on what country you're in. Since I live in the United States, this list pertains to stackers who also live here. I also don't recommend selling your precious metals to a dealer, but I will talk about what could happen if you do. Also, please don't get butthurt because you tie your purchases into your self-worth. These are my opinions and I will back up why I feel the way that I do, but deal with them in a constructive manner. There are a few things we should look at before getting into the best silver to buy. It's not a really easy thing to just throw out there. You kind of have to lay out a lot of caveats. First is selling to your local coin shop or LCS. If you do sell to a LCS, dealers are going to look for three things: a mint mark, the weight of the item, and the purity of the item stamped on the coin or bar. If your coin or bar whatever is missing one of these three items, chances are not great you'll be able to sell, or at least sell at the price you're looking for. Right here we have generic buffalo rounds. These are everywhere. Shows Liberty, and then when we reverse it, we see the United States of America, E pluribus unum, and it shows 1 ounce 0.999 fine silver. So it shows two of the three. It shows the weight and the fineness. It doesn't show a mint mark. You don't know who made these. If we were to look at this PAMP bar, this is 100 grams of silver. It's in an assay, and an assay is a little card like this. Could also be wrapped up in plastic, but it tells us that the mint is PAMP, but we don't see anything on the obverse of it. So if we were to flip it over, what does it show us? Okay, so it not only does it tell us on the assay, but it also tells us on the metal. It says PAMP Suisse. It tells us the weight, and then it tells us the purity. PAMP and a few other companies go a little bit further, and they give you a serial number. So this serial number is C002918. And that also corresponds to the serial number stamped on the assay. So if you were to sell 100 grams of buffaloes or this, someone's going to more likely buy this because it has all this extra stuff on it. You have serial number, you have it protected. So that's why these carry a higher premium over generic buffaloes or any other type of generic silver. Additionally, your LCS might not recognize the collectability of some of your silver and will only offer you spot or below spot, and you probably have a better chance selling to other collectors. That being said, typically, I don't recommend selling to an LCS simply because you can get a better premium elsewhere. But this is a video of the best silver to buy, so let's get to that. Liquidity is something you definitely have to look at and consider when deciding what silver to buy. If you had to sell your stack to pay your bills or something comes up, you want to make sure that you can do so very easily. That's liquidity. The harder an item is to sell, the less liquid it is. Don't buy something you'll be stuck with because no one wants it. Right now, with such a high silver demand, this is not a problem. But you never know when it will happen, and you do not want to get caught with low demand silver in a low market. Like gold, you also have to consider weight. Unless you're not worried about money and selling your silver, it is not the best idea to stack 100-ounce bars. And I would say maybe even kilo-sized bars are not the best idea. You want to get things that can easily sell at any point in time. Who can purchase a 100-ounce bar from you if you had to sell it right now? More than likely, you'd have to go to a dealer, and they wouldn't give you a price that you would like. Now, in a high demand period like now, it's pretty easy to offload that 100-ounce silver bar because there's a lot of interested buyers no matter what the size. I factor all these points into my decision of the best silver to stack. Getting back to my point, you'll have an easier time selling 100 1-ounce coins over selling something like a 100-ounce bar in both a high and low demand period. If you know you're going to offload your silver as soon as the price reaches a certain level, it may be smart to purchase just 1-ounce rounds or coins. But even when buying 1-ounce rounds or coins, pick pieces that anyone would have an interest in. If you're buying generic Indian rounds, that's totally fine, but have the understanding that these will not have a high demand. Or a specialty round like this Scrooge McDuck. This Scrooge McDuck is a 1-ounce proof. It has a low mintage, but it's meant for a specific market. My point is, low premium silver isn't always the way to go, and high premium silver, like the Scrooge, may not be best for you because of premiums and a smaller seller's market. In other countries, this might look a little different, so you have to do what's best for you. In a high or low demand period, I see these coins performing the worst in terms of demand, premium, and collectability. Starting with the worst performers is generic silver and hand-poured pieces from individuals. Of this group of silver, these have the worst premiums. I'm talking about in both low and high demand periods. In a low demand period, you can often find generic silver for spot price. In a high demand period, one can buy generic for $4 to $5 over spot. Some of you are thinking $4 to $5 over spot is pretty good. Well, not compared to what I'll get to later in the list. Buyback on generic silver is rough, and often below spot in a low demand period and barely above spot in a high demand period. Even in a high demand period, one has to have competitive pricing to get it to move because everyone, and I do mean everyone, has generic silver. Hand pours are interesting because the pourer often tags a high premium on the piece regardless of how basic or ugly it looks. But you'll get spot or below spot buybacks, especially from an LCS. And don't think that I'm shitting on hand pours. There are the exceptions out there. Some people produce some exquisite hand pours. They have intricate and unique designs and make very few of them. They don't just mass produce the same crap over and over again. Their pieces are actual works of art. And I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the individuals who have the most basic bar or 1-ounce circular shape, and all they do is they stamp their custom stamp in them. They use generic silver to make them, charge an enormous premium, and you will not get that premium back. If you're buying hand pours, you're doing it to support the person, knowing very well that you will not get your money back unless silver rises over $75 an ounce. Don't believe me? Take your basic hand pour to an LCS. They will offer you spot for that shit and throw it in the basic bitch bin. Even the ones that are stunning works of art, you will not get your premium back. So if you choose to stack hand pours, do it for the sole reason that you like those pieces, but just know that it's a money pit. Next, we have your basic government bullion. Canadian maple leafs, Austrian philharmonics, Britannias, Australian kangaroos. These have unlimited mintages every year and their designs don't change. The only thing that changes on these is the date and the number of milk spots. Some of you might be annoyed that I lumped government coins like the maple leafs or kangaroos so low on this list. I've included them in this section because these coins tend to milk spot like crazy, and milk spot kills premiums. Why pay a premium on these coins when they will develop milk spots and become worth no more than spot? It doesn't make sense to me. I will say though, the Canadian Mint has made strides since late 2018 to eliminate milk spots on their coins. I have not heard of other countries taking these steps. I have also seen some post-2018 maple leafs with milk spots on them, so I don't know how effective their technology is working. The reason I don't lump these in with generics is because they are still popular with people and offer slightly better premiums on buybacks over generics. They are also backed by a government, if that even means anything anymore. Next on the list we have Mexican Libertads, Perth Mint specialty coins like the Kookaburra, and private mints like Intaglio and Silver Shield. Finally, we are in the good silver. These do much better than government bullion, and there is consistency with the premiums. Perth Mint products are very interesting because they have a huge world market. While they are popular in the US, I feel that these are more popular outside the US, especially Europe and China. A lot of their specialty items have very low mintages and become quite popular. Kookaburras have a phenomenal strike in appearance. Each year their design changes, and these have low mintages to the point that people collect them. Libertads are very similar with some subtleties. They have low mintages and very nice quality. Their proofs are exceptional and very desirable. Their reverse proofs are even more popular and have mintages below 2000, which sell out very quickly. Libertads are also interesting because they make 1/20th of an ounce, 1/10 of an ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 5 ounce, and kilo versions of their Libertad in proof and reverse proof. That makes them extremely collectible. Their design does not change from year to year, but they make it interesting with size changes. Because all these specialty coins have really low mintages, they often retain very high premiums in periods of low and high silver demand. You almost never see spot deals for these items, and they are highly collectible with many people. Private mints like Intaglio and Silver Shield have incredible designs and very high quality. Their premiums have staying power over other collectors, but if you were to sell to your local coin shop, they may not appreciate it and not offer you much over spot. I was hesitant to even include Silver Shield in this group as it is a very niche item like the hand pours, but their quality and their designs are so top notch it was hard not to include them. When Silver Shield proofs are on sale, they often have a $25 premium over spot on them. But I often sell their proofs for well over $100 because they have such low mintages and are highly collectible. At the top of the list we have items that are incredibly popular, and because of that demand you can get a nice premium. American Silver Eagles, Pamp Silver, Geigers, and Morgan Silver Dollars is the best silver I have found to stack. Pamp Silver and Geigers make the top of the list for the same reason as the ASEs, buyback premiums. These also come in assays, something the ASEs do not. Check out eBay. These suckers are selling for a huge premium. Pamps and Geigers come in a variety of sizes ranging from 1 gram to 5 kilos. American Silver Eagles hold a higher premium over everything else, and it doesn't matter if it's high or low demand. but their premiums really take off in a high demand period, and they can be $10 or more over spot price. I wouldn't recommend purchasing the proof versions of ASEs. You will pay more than the BU version, and you don't always get that extra premium back. If you were to sell to an LCS, there's a $2 to $3 buyback in a low demand period. In a high demand period like now, it's slightly higher. If you were to sell these on eBay or Instagram, you could get a lot more. It's for this reason I highly recommend American Silver Eagles. You'll pay a premium, but more than likely you can get that premium back if you had to sell. ASEs are backed by the American government and are the most popular bullion coin in the world. They only mint ASEs in the 1 ounce size, and the design hasn't changed since 1986. The reverse of the ASE is supposed to go through a design change in 2021, but the official design change has not been released to the public. Morgan silver dollars are really interesting, and I almost did not add them to the list because they aren't popular with everyone, but please hear me out. During periods of low demand, the premiums on these coins really drops. But even for coal common date coins, there is a $5 premium. And during high silver demand, those premiums shoot way up. Coins I used to be able to buy for $18 and $19 are now going for $36. They don't contain a full ounce of silver, only 0.77345 troy ounces of silver, and the rest of it being copper. But that does not slow down the premium. These used to be backed by the US government, but no longer are. And like the other items at the top of this list, their design hasn't changed. Out of every item on this list, except for the Kookaburra and Intaglio Mint, Morgans are the only silver coin I have never seen with milk spots. Only Kooks, Intaglio Mint, and Morgans have been milk spot free. It's all in the way the silver blink is made. Morgans are highly collectible, there's lots of history built into them, and they're becoming more rare with each passing year. My advice is not to stack any Morgans below XF grade, as the value is also tied to the condition. Ultimately, it is up to you. What can you afford and what do you like? If you like something no one else likes, then go buy it and be happy. My list is merely a bunch of opinions and a guide for those who do not know what to get to help them decide what's good for them now and in the future. What is your favorite silver to buy? Do you agree with my list? You know where to tell me. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.